Hey there, marketers. My name is Monique Ruiz, and I'm a marketing director here at Claritas. I'm coming to you on video for a special fireside chat with Catherine Spisszak, VP of Claritas's Identify products. Catherine is going to join me in just a moment to talk about four exciting new data sets that we're adding to our lineup of solutions that fall under what we call our Identify bucket, which is the piece of our full circle of intelligence driven solutions where we help you know more about who your best prospects and customers are. Now, you'll notice I haven't exactly mentioned what those data sets are yet because I don't want to steal our resident expert, Catherine Shine. So I think it's probably the perfect time to bring her into the fold. Catherine, welcome and thank you for joining me for this fireside chat.
Thank you so much for having me,
Of
Monique.
course. So, you and I recorded a podcast episode together several years ago, and we've teamed up on webinars in the past, but I believe this is the first time we're doing a fireside chat together. Although,
This is
yeah, so neither one of us are displaying the roaring fire in the background. Our viewers are just going to have to imagine that. But for anyone who hasn't had the chance to get to know you yet, can you give them a quick introduction and overview of your role here at Claritas?
sure. So my name's Catherine Spisszak. I have been with Claritas for a little over 9 years, and I lead our Identify group of product managers. So our team manages all of the foundational data sets that feed all of our platforms, all of our deliver and optimize platforms, and all of the rich data that our Claritas users use all the time. So this ranges from our Claritas segmentation systems of connections and Prism Premier and Cycle Premier to our PopFacts demographics, all of our rich spending data and business data and all these foundational data sets is led by my team.
Awesome. So, on the Claritas website and in our informational pieces, we often refer to having over 8,000 demographic and behavioral attributes. What does that mean to the average marketer? And generally, what can they do with this kind of data?
So all of our data fits into the identify step of the Claritas closed loop solution, which includes identify, deliver, and optimize. And this new data that we're coming out, we're about to add over 4,600 new behavioral profiles. This offers estimates through by geography through the lens of our segmentation systems, which helps marketers to further understand purchase patterns and identify target areas. This data provides marketers with the most complete and vivid profile sets available to understand mobile and digital consumers. And it really does enhance their digital media planning strategies. It can optimize their resource allocation for precise customer targeting, and really allow our users to gain a deeper understanding of both their customers and their prospects, as well as how to reach them and engage with them across all major media.
That's really exciting. And you kind of beat me to the punch. This is exactly right. We're going to have some numbers to update on our website and in our marketing materials with the introduction of these premium profile data sets, which you're alluded to just now. So you gave us some high level info with what's going on, but can you tell us a little bit more about these particular data sets? There's four. So we have Connect, Cord, Podcasts, and Trending Topics. What can you tell about the value that each of them brings to marketers?
Yes, I am really excited to have these four data sets coming out. This is an immense amount of data, and it's really completing the profile set and the availability of data for our clients. So the first of these four new data sets is Connect. This is powered by a state-of-the-art digital and mobile media panel that collects online and mobile activity of opt-in panelists, such as the use of media apps and web behaviors through digital devices. Panelists actually install this on their smartphones, tablets, and home computers, so there's no bias there. And it enables more effective media planning and greater understanding of brand value across the entire media ecosystem by combining reach and engagement measures covering traditional, digital, and mobile platforms. The second data set is called Cord. This asks consumers about their pay TV subscription status, their awareness, usage of technology and service offerings. There's a wealth of information on streaming viewership that we've never had access to before, and all the resulting behaviors that come with that will allow marketers and content providers to do a really deep dive into the who, what, how, and why of today's TV viewers. It will really help to understand the motivation and drivers to core behavior. So looking at switching in a way that we've never been able to before, allowing you to profile TV viewing segments across thousands of different variables, including different streaming platforms, to get an immediate shot of the TV viewing universe, its drivers, how it's evolving, and to really understand binge viewing as well in a way that we've never been able to do before. The third offering is podcast. So this offers insights into podcasting with a dive into the world of podcast listeners. So it's looking at engagement of podcast content, information on hosts and ads, how you're feeling about those, what are the motivational drivers to not just listen, but also purchase after listening to a podcast, which is really important in today's industry because of the huge growth in consumer adoption of podcasts and the increase in advertising spend in this arena. And finally, the last one is trending topics. So this study really explores current behaviors and future intentions as they relate to what's trending. So what's happening in the country today, it examines psychographics and attitudes regarding current events, and changing reactions that might influence brand choices, spending, all sorts of different things. This trending topics database will be updated annually with all different topics, whatever's trending at the time, so that our users can stay informed and responsive to customer attitudes both now and in the future. Right now, there's a lot of political voting relationship data in there, as well as things on the economy and health insurance and all sorts of things. But next year, there will be different topics as voting won't be quite as relevant. So this is a really pertinent, really timely data set that we've never been able to offer before.
So I can understand from a marketer's perspective why this would be super exciting, but tell us a little bit more about Claritas. Why is this so exciting for us?
So this is the first time that we've added a data set of this magnitude in a very, very long time, probably as long as I've been here. And what it really does is enhances the usage of our consumer syndicated segmentation system in a way that's really never been available before. So it helps our users to use our syndicated segmentation systems, identify existing segments who also have a propensity to exhibit a certain behavior. But by adding all these attributes, we're able to look at technology and streaming and binge watching and feelings on voting and topics that we've never been able to offer in a syndicated manner before through the lens of all of our syndicated segments. Really giving you pertinent, timely data to react to understand the segments. In total, it's, like I said, 4,600 different attributes. There's 2,300 in the Connect, there's 1,200 in Cord, 300 different podcasts, and 790 plus attributes in trending topics. So really covering the gamut of all this important trending information, technology information that we've never had access to.
So this data is provided by one of our partners, MRI Simmons, but what would make a marketer come to us for these profiles versus working directly with MRI Simmons?
So the advantage to coming through Claritas is really the added value of our syndicated segmentation systems. So our syndicated segmentation systems, namely Prism Premier, Connections, and Cycle Premier, offer unparalleled ability to append first-party data and additional insights like this that, or custom audience builds that aren't available through other providers. So all of this new data, all four of these data sets can be used through the lens of our Claritas segmentation. You can filter through and index by your best segments or your best targets, knowing that you're a Claritas segmentation user. So it's not just a one-dimensional understanding of the new behaviors that we're getting access to, which may be available elsewhere, but it's putting a detailed picture behind the count of those behaviors. So you're not just understanding the count of, let's say, one of the trending topics attributes, but you're understanding the segment behind it to get the demographic data and all of those other 10,000 behavioral attributes to really give you the complete view. And so in addition to fitting into our deliver and optimize and identify closed loop platform, we can also use the identity graph to link pre-built audiences to their devices and channels, giving the most precise profiles for your marketing campaigns.
Okay, that all makes sense. So I think it's important to understand a little bit of the maybe like the methodology behind the data, especially if you're trying to determine if it's a good investment for your business, both financially and from the insights that you can glean. So for the Connect Cord podcast and trending topics profiles, what can you tell us about the sample sizes and the data collection process? You talked about it a little bit before, but can you reiterate that for us?
So for all these data sets, the survey and panels are put on by MRI, and then we do some work with the data to put it through the lens of our segmentation. But for Connect, MRI uses a passive measurement application across 15,000 plus devices, which includes things like smartphones and tablets and PCs, selected from digital and mobile media panels. So the fact that these are connected onto the devices reduces bias. In addition, as part of this data set, there are 10 traditional and digital media platforms that are measured in a survey booklet as well. The CORD study is an online study. This provides motivations and drivers to CORD Connect, as we mentioned, binge viewing, etc. This survey is fielded twice a year, and it provides Claritas with a 10,000 plus respondent sample file. Podcast is collected by MRI biannually via an online questionnaire of about 5,000 podcast listeners, and it's typically focused in the last 30 days of their listening, which totals about 10,000 annually for the respondent file for that. Measurements include devices and platforms utilized, types of podcasts, listening frequency, motivational drivers, and attitudes. And then finally, for trending topics, this is collected online in June across a nationally representative sample of about just over 2,900 adults in the United States. This meant, as I mentioned, will change every year. So these trending topics will be different and this data set will change every year. So it's not something that you can kind of continue to look at because the attributes will actually be different depending upon what's going on at the time.
Okay. And just as a quick side note for our viewers, you should see some of these numbers popping up on the screen as Catherine goes through them. And if I remember to add them, we don't want you to feel like you have to remember everything, but we've also created and will continue to create some dedicated resources to each of these data sets and what they have to offer. So if you're currently working with a Claritas representative, you can reach out to them to talk more. And we should have a few links in the description of this video that will redirect you to relevant content. But Catherine, if someone is watching our fireside chat and they want access to the data, what's the process for them to license it? And what options do they have to actually receive the data?
So right now the data is available as a flat file. So customers can purchase it and use the data to glean insights or use in models. It will be loaded onto our Claritas 360 platform soon. But you can work with your Claritas representative or visit the contact us page on the website if you're not currently working with us. And we will connect you with someone on our team of experts to get you access to these data sets. They are sold as complete sets, so there are 4 complete sets. So you don't have to kind of pick and choose through all the attributes to understand what you pick and choose and determine what you want to get. You will get the entire data set to work with.
Great. That's super helpful. It's a bundled deal. So I'm guessing just pricing is dependent on a few things. So it's probably best for them to talk to their Claritas representative about that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what can you highlight for us in terms of the profiles? Just highlight a few of them so our viewers have an idea of exactly what they'd be licensing. And also, can they see the full roster before they decide to license the data?
Yes, they can absolutely see the full roster before they decide to license the data. And this is where it gets really exciting because some of these attributes are so detailed and information we've never been able to get access to before. So Connect has very specific websites and apps that we've never had in our data sets before, and the ability to kind of look at whether they're being used on a PC or a smartphone. So it's really enhancing our website usage that we've never had before, and then apps as well. There's information on here that, like I said, we've never had before. Cord has very comprehensive detail on streaming, not just shows, but the services, the platforms that they're using, their attitudes toward some of these streaming platforms, whether they like the ads or not, reasons for switching, whether it's price or time of year or something like that, reasons for watching and binging, lots of information on binging and feelings on watching an entire season at once or whether you do it episode by episode. And not just TV shows. So there's sports, there's movies, there's ad supported or not, there's short videos, there's OTA television, and all the different devices that are used to stream. Podcast is not just individual podcast names and podcast content, although that's all there. There's insights into the attitude. So why you do listen, why you don't listen, reasons why you're financially supporting podcasts, actions taken after listening to a podcast, whether that's purchasing a product or something, how they're discovering new podcasts, how they're listening and what types of device, how often they're listening, time of day they're listening. And then again, all of those very specific podcast names are in there as well. And then finally, trending topics, which is really just invaluable. Clients no longer have to do custom surveys to kind of learn their customers' feelings on what's hot in the market right now. So this has political activities, social issues, employment attitudes like working from home and feelings on that, feelings on health and human rights issues, a lot of information on healthcare. Obviously, right now it's very filled with voting opinions and thoughts on why people would vote certain ways based on certain issues. A lot of information on spending attitudes within the current state of the economy and how that's changing, how they're spending. So this is just a really rich, very pertinent, very timely data set that I'm really excited for our clients to be able to look at through the lens of their best segments.
So I'm coming up with all these scenarios in my head, but I'm going to limit myself to asking you specifically about one. If a brand licenses the data but realizes they want to know even more, they love what we have to offer them, but they want to know more, do they have any options there?
Yes. So our syndicated studies are a synopsis of what's available. There's a lot of additional attributes that are out there. So they can work with our analytics team to do anything custom that they need. So if there were different attributes that weren't a part of our syndicated segment, profile set, or if they wanted to do some kind of custom target groups or just get a more detailed analysis with any of the data, we have custom studies that we can work with them for. So if the off-the-shelf product doesn't work off the shelf for them, we certainly want clients to be able to take advantage of this rich data in different ways and are more than willing to work with them to find the best way to get them to take advantage of it.
Great to know. So, is there anything else that our viewers should know about the new premium profile data sets?
I'm just really excited for these data sets to hit the marketplace because I really just think that there's so much valuable information in here and so timely. And to be able to look at our syndicated segmentation system, which is proven and accurate through these behaviors that we've never been able to offer before through this level of detail, I'm just really excited to embark on this data release. And there's going to be even more new data releases coming in the future that these data sets will enhance. So this is just a very exciting time at Claritas in terms of the identify segment to really help our clients reach their ideal customers, achieve a greater return of investment on their marketing dollars and their customer acquisition. Media strategy can be done in all new ways through all different new channels and management. And to be able to use these new data sets, the behaviors, the shows, the websites, the information that's never before been covered through any of our profile sets, further defining that sort of 360-degree view we gave before is really unprecedented. And I'm really, really excited for clients to get access to it.
Yeah, me too. So, Catherine, you've given us a ton of exciting news, a ton of great information. So, thank you for sitting down with me for 20 minutes and proactively answering some of the questions that I know we'd get otherwise.
Thanks for inviting me.
So that's all the time that we have for this fireside chat today. If the introduction of the four new premium profile datasets, Connect, Cord, Podcasts, and Trending Topics is something that piques your interest and you want to talk to us more about them, then visit the Contact Us tab on our website or reach out to your Claritas representative directly. I mentioned before, but we'll also have links in the description of this video for you to easily access. Thanks again to Catherine for joining me, and thank you to those of you watching at home, at work, or on the go. Bye now.